Hello everyone, and welcome to my newbie booktube video. This video is to get to know me and who I am and what I bring to this channel. So first of all, who am I? My name is Wendy and I am a mom and a wife, and I worked in healthcare for so many years until I had my son, and that's when I quit and I decided to stay home and raise my baby, and I feel fulfilled. I am originally a New Yorker. I was born and raised in New York, and as a teen, late in my teens, my family decided to move to Florida. So I reside in Florida, not by choice, but I'm grateful for it because this is where I met my husband. So yeah, it sucked when you're a teen and you're moving places, but I am very grateful for meeting my soulmate and essentially building a life together. So outside of BookTube, I've been focusing mainly on being a mom, and it's hard work. I have a three-nager, it's what I like to call it, and he is full of energy and nonstop every day. I am just enjoying the ride. I feel so privileged to be able to see him grow. So when did I start reading? I started reading when I was 17. I picked up at that time, I'm 33 now, so it's been a while, but at 17, 16, I picked up Twilight, and that was my first ever series to read, and I delved into it. Of course, life takes its course and things happen. Moving across states, getting used to a new location, I kind of left reading aside. And it wasn't until I had my son, or a little bit before I had my son, that I got back into reading. So it's been a journey. I felt that reading healed a lot of things that I was going through at that time. One being my son. I had difficulties getting pregnant, and I remember picking up All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover at the time, and I was ready to give up infertility. At the time, my husband and I were already married for 10 years. We just kind of wanted to enjoy marriage and enjoy time for ourselves before committing to a family, and of course, stability. But that book healed a very difficult time in my life. I felt super useless, and I'm sorry to say that, but it is very raw. I literally felt like my body wasn't doing what it was supposed to, and I felt frustrated with myself. And All Your Perfects kind of healed something inside of me, and that's when I realized that books are so powerful, because I went from being frustrated to concerned to thinking the lowest of myself at that time to thinking about things on the bright side. And when I thought about things on the bright side, and I thought to myself, okay, well, even if it's not meant to be, even if this doesn't happen for me, I still can find joy with my husband. And once I viewed books as a healing catalyst, I let go of that. And as soon as I felt like I healed that part of myself, I got pregnant. There was so much joy when that time came, and I'm super grateful that a book can heal something in me. What type of books do I love most? I love fantasy, romantasy, romance books, thrillers, suspense. I love to read books that I can indulge in. I like to read books that I don't feel like I'm a mom. And that's part of the reason why I started reading and becoming an avid reader about 3 years ago. I felt like I can travel to a place in my imagination and not be a mom for 30 minutes or an hour, or more than an hour, because sometimes I stay up past my bedtime. But I just felt that I could be anyone and anywhere in my mind. And that was so liberating, and it got me through the roughest patches of my postpartum journey. It wasn't easy. I felt super guilty and super self-conscious about being a new mom and what came with it. My husband would always push me for self-care. Hey, you need to go get your hair done. You need to go get your nails done. You need to go get a massage, leave the house. And I felt super guilty at times for just leaving my infant for 30 minutes or an hour outside my home. That's how bad it was. I essentially let go of that fear, and obviously trusted my partner and trusted my husband, as it should be. and let go of that guilt of being a bad mom, or am I a good mom? Am I a good enough mom? And books helped me navigate postpartum so well, and I'm so grateful and thankful for literature. What is my favorite book, or a book that really impacted me? Well, All Your Perfects did impact me a whole lot by Colleen Hoover. It definitely impacted my fertility journey. Also, Fourth Wing. I felt that Fourth Wing was my introduction into fantasy and romanticy, and I didn't realize how many worlds this can open up. And then that's when I started reading more and more and more fantasy, and it delved me into ACOTAR, and I got immersed in those worlds, and I didn't feel like I was anybody but myself in that point in time. I do have a guilty pleasure with a specific book series, and it is ACOTAR. I reread it 3 times, the whole series, and also I downloaded the audiobooks. Yes, so I downloaded the dramatized versions of ACOTAR, and it changed the game for me. That is one of those books that I can put in my earbuds at night and fall asleep to, because I just love the series and I fell in love with the characters. Morally gray, not morally gray. Most of them are morally gray, but it was just such a good series, and it was one that I could just not let go of. So why did I decide to start a Booktube channel? I decided to start a Booktube channel because I wanted to share my love for books with others. I don't have anybody in my space that I can share that with. My family doesn't read, my friends don't read, the little friends that I do have, because I can literally count them on my fingers. One of my good friends, she started reading Fourth Wing, but she's a very slow reader, so I feel like I'm egging her to read, but it is just so hard to find other people to talk about books with. And I wanted to talk about books in a very healing way and in a very deep way, and I feel like I don't have anybody in my corner immediately to talk to about. The only person I have is my husband, and my husband only listens to my rants about books, and I talk to him about it, but he's not really a reader, he's a gamer. So I find myself sometimes just holding in these things that I feel like I should talk about and I can't. But hopefully with my channel, I will be able to connect with more people and share ideas, share stories, share the same excitement. And that is what this channel is really about. So what kind of content will I be making? So my channel is centered around book reviews. I will also be conducting interviews with authors, which I do have one lined up with Millie Moss, which was the author of Crescent and the Crown. And that will be set up for a little bit later, but that is the type of energy and vibe that I want in my channel. I want to be able to recommend books and kind of share what I read and connect with everybody else in the Booktube community and say, hey, like, have you read this? Yeah, let's talk about it. So how often do I plan to post? My goal is to post twice a week, mostly Mondays and Wednesdays. So what makes my content a little bit different than other booktubers? I feel like my content is very much emotional takes. I typically go through book details and summaries of books. However, I do have an emotional take on every book that I read. I feel like there's something always to take away from a book. There's a lesson to be learned. There's conversations or important topics to be brought to light from books. I feel that they can also be healing, and I want to center it around healing, recognizing red flags, or just simply out of the box ideas and conversations. So I hope this video was a little glimpse of who I am and what my channel brings. I hope that I make new friends along the way. I hope that I meet new people and bond over our favorite books. And if sometimes we don't like the books, it's okay to talk about it too. I want this channel to be a safe place, a place where people come and can express themselves and can think outside the box when it comes to books. It is so easy to judge a book by ratings, right? Even though I do rate my books, but I feel that there's a lesson to be learned in each book, or a moral or an emotional take in books that we can dive deep into and can have a discussion about it. But I am thankful and grateful that I'm here, and I'm excited for what the future holds. So I hope you do subscribe and like and comment and engage. I would love to get to know each and every one of you, and I hope my content resonates with many of you. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you next time.